moving on, however, we are moving to a very different topic, specifically water management. And with that, I will turn the microphone over to Margaret McCauley, who is with the U.S. EPA, as soon as we are ready. Are we ready? We're not quite ready.
Good evening. Is this on? Yes, it is. So, towards sustainable water infrastructure, first thing I'm going to do is try to define terms. Water is all the water that we want to use and the water that we're done as humans with for the moment. And it's the pipes and the pieces that take it away and pipes and pieces that bring it together. And when I say array, around here, away basically means Puget Sound, which we're also supposed to be cleaning up. So it's a little tricky that way. In addition to the physical pieces, there's also the other types of infrastructure, like the billing systems and all of the people who work together, in theory, to make this water come and go. And sustainability would be meeting present and future needs, the triple bottom line, environmental, social, and fiscal bottom line. And the basic message is we have a problem. Our infrastructure is aging, but this problem could be an opportunity to change what we're doing and make the system sustainable. Sounds good, right? What's the problem? Where's the resistance? And right here is where my slides are no longer EPA approved. This section is my personal slant on the issue. So the basic problem is inertia. We have a lot invested in the current system, and there's many more fun things to spend our money on, right? And utility managers and EPA bureaucrats are required to be cautious. We get hired for our ability to read spreadsheets, follow rules, and not for our ability to create drama. Sometimes water mains create a little bit of drama, you know, here and there. If that was you in the car, maybe you'd be upset and think about it for a while. You know, it happens, but it's really hard to maintain any sort of political will to do anything about this, and as a result, we have a lot of deferred maintenance. We aren't even keeping up with the current system. We're underspent on capital needs, blah, 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 blah. Very boring, many spreadsheets I could show you. Spreadsheets that move in from the left, spreadsheets that move in from the right. The original slideshow that I was given to work with had a lot of that. Even if we were keeping up, which we are not, the population keeps growing up. I'm partly responsible. I have a 2-year-old. The population moves to the arid west. The arid west doesn't have enough water. Climate change is going to make that worse. And then there's emerging issues like pharmaceuticals. We put them in the water. Right now, we don't have any way to take them out. There's lots of jokes if you go to water manager conferences about, if you can't afford the pharmaceuticals for your aging relatives, send them to Florida. It's already in the water there. And then another thing that happens is, you know, at a much slower rate than we invent pharmaceuticals, we develop new treatment rules, which also have to get factored into capital costs and maintenance issues. So there's plenty of invisible ways that we can deal with these challenges and incrementally improve our water infrastructure. Better billing systems, better pumps. And believe me, EPA, we are on top of the better pumps and how to get the information about the better pumps to the, you know, did you know that the city of Tupelo is doing that, blah, blah, blah. We're all over that. But is this incremental thinking really going to get us to sustainability? And at this point, you may be thinking, this woman is so negative. And these are multi-billion-dollar systems with big pipes, and what am I supposed to do about it? And the point I'm trying to make today, the reason I'm here as opposed to at a water utility manager meeting, which we also go to, is to do sustainability for water infrastructure. We need a lot of people asking a lot of questions. And if you leave it up to us, cautious, spreadsheet-loving bureaucrats, you're going to get what you have, or more expensive, more complicated versions of what you already have. For example, in March 2008, the Seattle Times reported on the cost of the new-ish, not quite there yet, sewage treatment plant for King and Snohomish counties. It was expected in March 2008 to cost $1.8 billion, which is roughly double what was originally approved, and they asked, why did it get so pricey? And the reporter lists many reasons: engineering changes, technology that exceeds state and federal environmental requirements, and construction industry inflation. But above all was a simple truth that almost nobody wants a sewer treatment plant near his home or business or beach. So think about this. We buy yummy food, and after a little preparation and time in our bodies, that food becomes poop. And there are a lot of embedded nutrients and energy in poop that could be a valuable resource. But right now, we're spending a lot of money to buy clean water, mix it with our poop, and make it into a big, expensive problem that no one wants to be anywhere near. There are a lot of reasons we have the water infrastructure we have, and everyone involved had good intentions. Past is prologue, on to the future. And the reason I wanted to be here was I'm hoping there's a lot of creative people who aren't normally thinking about these things, and that you might sleep on this and start to think about these things and start to ask some questions like, how can we price water to reflect its real cost? Do social goals, such as maintaining industrial jobs and service for the poor, justify differential pricing? That one's kind of geeky, I know. Do we need to use drinking water to flush our toilets? I have a potty mouth, yes, toilet this, toilet that. So utilities are constrained by what their ratepayers think their mission is. And the more people who are thinking about the mission and saying, wait a minute, is that really the mission? And more dreaming up new answers, the more likely we are to get to sustainability, or at least something like sustainability. So I'm hoping that this is going to get involvement by creative financial types, organizational strategists, management gurus, mechanical engineers, playwrights, and filmmakers who get the challenge, who understand it, and can communicate it better than I can, possibly, I hope, and sort of free up people to think about the possibilities. And you might now be thinking, I thought she was going to talk about EPA. Didn't she say EPA somewhere? What does EPA do? Is she trying to get us to do her job? What? So there are loosely 3 parts to EPA. There's the standard setting for rules about how clean is clean for drinking water and wastewater. There's the part that gives money out for environmental projects, and I have here in my little stack a nice list of projects that we're funding under the Green Reserve section of the American, Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. Yes, someone in the front row got it. Nice. And then there's the part that enforces the rules and takes money back in form of fines. That's where I work. So now we're going back to the official slides. So the answer is yes, I am asking you to help me with my job. Please help. As the EPA Office of Water website says, the job is much too big to accomplish alone. EPA depends on many others: federal agencies, state and local governments, Indian tribes, public interest groups, and the public at large. So my day job is enforcing the Clean Water Act. And the way it's written, EPA can, if another federal agency has a water quality violation, we can write a letter. We can write a nice letter, we can write a nasty letter. But as the EPA, we can't do something that anyone in this room can do as a private citizen, which is sue the federal agency for the damage caused. So we work within the laws that Congress writes. And currently, this is also from the Office of Water website, I'm not making this up, we are still working with laws and regulations that treat air, land, water, and living resources as separate entities instead of as interrelated systems. This regulatory pattern makes comprehensive solutions and their implementation problematic. Traditional command and control approach, combined with single media laws, precludes flexibility and deflects attention from developing and applying alternative solutions. So I'm hoping that some of you in this room are going to help us figure out some alternative solutions. So with that introduction, I have a few official slides. Infrastructure is community wealth. We have a strategy. We have a national strategy, and we have a Pacific Northwest strategy, just in case you were feeling left out. We do some things. It's a national problem, and it's an opportunity to invest in the future. Thank you very much.
Wait 1 second, Margaret. Margaret finished 1 minute early. Does anyone have questions? Let's hear it.
Yeah. So you're talking about new ways of sort of but how do we think about getting gray water systems to
See, we don't have a strategy for that. That's where you come in. We have a strategy. Once it's agreed, we can help you nationalize it. We can make the baseline rules. We can say, this is what's proven to be safe. This is what's proven to be effective. We can give you our little seal of approval. But our mission, as given, is not plumbing. Sorry.
So what you're saying is we need to get politically involved in our city councils and such to change building codes.
That's one role. There's many roles. I mean, there's, basically, you can come up with better gadgets, you can get better with software programs, you can come up with, but definitely just sort of raising the issue like, this is probably not the best thing to be doing. Can we do it better?
10 seconds.
Just out of curiosity, are you a fan of composting toilets, or do you think that's a little bit too non-incremental?
Oh, no. I mean, I feel like we should try everything. Throw all the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Try not.
That's a bad place to put a spaghetti analogy. Sorry, Margaret.